Hi everybody. Welcome back to White Silk Lover. This is chapter 15. This chapter is kind of difficult for me to read sometimes because I always get emotional. This is also the halfway point in the book. This book is a little bit longer than Outed, but I kind of fell in love with the characters. Anyway, let's get started. Friday, April 16th, 5 p.m., Vegas time. Kobe. I had never flown anywhere in my life. Tomas came for me in a Learjet, beige interior, light wood trim and table, dark beige leather seats, and its own steward. Joy and Albert sat in the rear, but basically me and Tomas. He had invited Sam, but Sam had said I would have more fun pulling my eyelashes out than watching you two make out. As I stared out the window, wispy clouds flew past, and the brown and beige ground sped far below us. From Vegas to Dead Man's Butte, the small town that Tomas had once called home. I think I'd been there once. Its claim to fame? The butte it was named after. An hour or so north of Vegas, it had only 50,000 people, barely a fraction of what we have in Vegas. The sky captured my entire attention. Big fluffy clouds that turned brilliant white in the sun. Tell me about this present, Tomas said. What did you get me? I didn't get it for you. I got it for Sterling, I said. My boss was getting rid of it, and I thought you could try it. Now I'm curious, and a little jealous. My boyfriend is buying presents for another guy. I didn't buy it, I said. They're called squealers. Now I squeal, Tomas said. No, it's a security device. I reached to my side and pulled out the box I'd brought with me. I opened it and handed Tomas several condom-sized objects. Then I pulled an odd gray box out. It was about the size of an alarm clock. What is it? More than a year ago, I said, this company gave Bixby's Electronics the system to try and prevent shoplifters. The system didn't work as planned. The range was too limited, and somebody would pick up a DVD and walk over to look at the flat screens, and the tag would go off. It's been in the back room for months. How did you get it? Tomas asked. I told my boss a little about Sterling's problems with people walking off with his stuff, I said. It's just taking a broom. Boss said, maybe Sterling could give us a shout out at one of his concerts sometime. How's it work? Joey said, coming up behind us. You attach the sensors to whatever, then when it gets out of range, it squeals and an alarm goes off at the main box. And if it's connected to your Wi-Fi, you get an email. Let's test it, Albert said. Can you adjust the range? Maximum range wasn't as much as we wanted, I said. Albert plugged it in at the back of the plane. I adjusted the range to minimum, and Joy examined one of the little packets. Tomas warned the pilot, and I took one as far from the unit as I could. It gave off a high-pitched wail that had everyone covering their ears. My boss was right. There wasn't much range. I shut it down. What do you think? How many sensors? Joey asked. That's the problem, I said. Only 10. The company that made it went out of business, and my boss couldn't get more. That means big things only, Joey said. Javier and his guitar picks are out of luck. Then what do we choose? Nobody would have thought a drum would go missing, Albert said. I'll talk to Les about it, Tomas said. I think this should be our secret, Joey said. The fewer that know, the less anyone can gossip about it. Imagine whoever the thief is when one of those goes off. I'll have to tell Maya if I put it in my costumes, Tomas said. Otherwise, no one has to know. Then 5 would know the secret, Albert said. Joey, we have some champagne to finish. Kobe and I have been too far apart for too long, Tomas said. You two keep to your side of the plane, and we'll keep to ours. Friday, April 16th, 6 p.m., Tomas. We landed in the small airport outside of Dead Man's Butte. I hadn't been back for at least a year, and each time I returned, A part of me missed the old mining town. This was still home. We were only making a quick stop, so we took a taxi to meet my mom's at Lupe's Grill, home of the best salsa in Nevada. It had a salsa bar with 30 different kinds of salsa. Some were hot enough to take the paint off the ceiling. Lupe's had adobe walls, a red tile roof, and palm trees. It was late enough that we could sit at an outdoor table. My mom's waited at a table for 7. Perrine was French and studied the culinary arts. She ran a small cafe called the French Quarter. Akiko was Japanese and spoke 6 languages fluently and understood several others. She was a professional translator and often flew to LA to help clients. "Tomas, Joy, Albert, it's good to see you again," Perrine said and kissed our cheeks. "How much trouble has my Tomas caused this time?" "Mom," I said, "do you have to ask that every time?" "Of course she does," Akiko said. "Welcome home, even if only for dinner. We thought Sam was coming." "He said he had a project he needed to complete," Joy said, diplomatically. "Moms, let me introduce my boyfriend, Kobe Wood," I said, and pulled Kobe forward. "The honor is ours," Akiko said. "Tomas has said that you are studying music in Vegas?" "Yes, ma'am," Kobe said, "at the university." The waiter arrived and passed down menus. "So there is no confusion," Perrine said. "Akiko and I are hosting, so we are buying for everyone. You'll have to tell Sam what he missed." I had warned them that Kobe didn't have much money, and this way we could bypass the issue. We ordered. Kobe made sure he got vegan options. That was one reason my moms had chosen this place, because Perrine knew the chef. "How old was Tomas when you adopted him?" Joy asked. She wore her hair down and relaxed. "Do you have any embarrassing pictures?" "Joey," I warned. Kobe smiled. "He was not quite a year old," Akiko said. "Both of us went to the Czech Republic to pick him up." "You never mentioned that," Kobe said. "Have you ever been back?" "I don't even remember it," I said. "My earliest memories are here." "Is Sam from the Czech Republic too?" Albert asked. "Just me. He's from Florida," I said. "Emmy came from New York," Akiko said. "Our year together was the happiest one we've ever had." "I'm sorry about her death," Kobe said. "It must have been horrible." Perrine took a long, slow, deep breath. "I still miss her, and I suppose I always will." "Enough," Akiko said. "We are getting far too serious for Tomas's homecoming. Let's talk about you, Kobe. Tell us about your family." Kobe froze for a moment and took a sip of ice water. "There's not much to tell. I'm an ordinary music student from Vegas. I'd rather you told us about how Tomas became Sterling." I caught the split-second glance Joey gave Albert, and his slight nod. Friday, April 19th, 7 p.m., Vegas time. Kobe. "What do you think of flying?" I realized that was the 3rd time Tomas had asked that question. For the first time since I had met him, Tomas had an easy smile and his eyes were bright. He wore white shorts, a dark linen shirt. "Sorry. Do you own the jet?" "No," Tomas said. "I borrowed it for the weekend. Same with the yacht we'll be going to after this." A Learjet, a yacht, a trip to the coast. I've never been to the ocean. Not that I mind, but why are you doing all of this? Tomas spun in his chair to face me. "If I told you, you'd think it pretty weird." "You lead 2 lives," I said. 3 if you count us on the phone every night. 4 if you count the backup singer bit. Nothing weird here." "Fine. I won't tell you," Tomas said. "Just tell me." Slipping my feet out of my sandals, I hopped up and sat cross-legged in the chair next to his. 4 lives, Tomas smirked, steepling his fingers in front of his face. "Guess." "You're showing off," I said. "This weekend must cost at least a year's tuition." "Wrong," Tomas said. "It's the record label's jet, and every so often they let us use it as a fringe benefit. Guess again." As I smiled back, I got out of my seat and leaned up against his. Free transportation. I bet the yacht is theirs too. Cheap date. You're getting warmer, Tomas said, took my hand and held it loosely. One more guess, and if you get it wrong, I'll make you wear a thong the whole weekend. Somehow my face betrayed my shock that he would even say such a thing. And if I get it right? I smiled. Tomas gave me a very large, very wicked grin. I'll wear it. My face felt very warm. For a moment I couldn't say a word as a nearly nude Tomas, sunbathing on the deck, flashed across my mind. I've got to figure this one out, and quickly. Can you give me a hint? What's in San Diego? Lots of water and cars. That's why Albert's here. Quit stalling. I've got a serious answer and a silly one. Which one do you want? I asked. Trying to cheat with two answers, Tomas said. Tell me the silly one first. With a deep breath, I forced my mind to stop daydreaming about Tomas. You needed help with the sunscreen and wanted someone to get your back? Not the answer I was looking for, Tomas said, chuckling, but I like it. What's the serious answer? You wanted to take me to your favorite restaurant, and it's in San Diego? Tomas pulled me to him. Now I wish I had brought a thong. I bet you would have looked great. You, I said, were joking? A part of me was disappointed. I'd never worn one before, and with no one around but Tomas, it might have been fun. I can always send Joey to buy one, Tomas said, and raised an eyebrow. His eyes drifted from my face and down my chest to my stomach. What's your waist size? As if I'm telling, I said. What's the real reason? 32-inch? No, slim 34? Definitely not 36. As my jaw dropped, I pulled away from him. You are terrible. I'm pretty sure we could swap clothes, so I'd lay odds you are 32, and you haven't seen terrible yet. Tomas laughed and lightly tickled me. Joey? Yes, boss? Joey turned a little from Albert. I need a couple of thongs waiting for us at the yacht. As embarrassed as I was, Joey didn't say a word, or wink, or laugh, or anything. Color? Black. Anything else? She asked. That's all. Tomas grinned at me. Then it hit me. Me, in a thong, in front of Tomas. Everybody would see the loose skin. I whispered, but I needn't have worried. Joey and Albert weren't paying any attention to us. You know I can't wear things like that. My jerk brother aside, Tomas said, and took my hand and pulled me to the chair, and somehow we both fit, if I sat really close. You are the only person who notices. Besides, they're not a badge of shame. Then what are they? I asked. They are a trophy of what you've achieved, Tomas said. Not many people can do what you've done, and you don't know how proud I am that you've done it. I'd never thought of it like that. A warm feeling came into my chest that left me vulnerable and scared. Somebody was proud of something I had done. When was the last time that had happened? Not for years. The closest I got to a compliment was from Monica and her interview. You've done it all on your own. No one helped you. Just like college, you've done it all, Tomas said. He shifted me so he could look at my eyes. Kelly once said that your life was hard, but she didn't give any details. What did she mean? There was a part of me that no one knew, and Tomas was getting close. Too close. Maybe I should tell him. No. This pain was too personal. Although I tried to pull back, Tomas held me. You're a demon on the piano. You did that all on your own, didn't you? You're self-taught. Same with singing. You have an amazingly powerful voice, and you learned on your own. Maybe, if I didn't say anything, he would change subject. You taught yourself music, Tomas whispered. Worked what? 2 jobs to survive? Lived on your own? You don't trust anyone, do you? He was too close to the hidden part, a part I couldn't talk about. Options? Scream? Tantrum? Pout? Maybe a little honesty. I'm not ready to talk about it. I'm sorry. I understand, Tomas said. I'll back off. But if you need an ear sometime, I've got 2. Friday, April 19th, 7 p.m., Vegas time. Tomas. My turn to get emotional, and my voice choked up. Is this why whisper meant so much to you? Kobe's hand tightened a little around mine, and his eyes watered. It got me out of a seriously bad depression. Kelly was right. The year after high school was very hard. Kobe grimaced and fought tears. I heard that song at just the right time in my life. It gave me a life. That's why I went to college, lost weight, changed everything. Your music gave me something to hold on to. Wow. My eyes teared. Kobe just gave me a serious reality check. My music gave someone the reason to keep living. Never in my life did I think that something I sang could heal someone. Each word Kobe spoke opened up a part of me that had given up hope. Maybe now was the time. I wrote something for you. It's called Kobe. I sang softly to keep it intimate and between us. I met a stranger who changed my life, a man who opened my eyes to the beauty around, a man who loved me for me and made me feel special. He woke up the part of me that hurt. With one kiss, one beautiful kiss, he made me remember what love is. Kobe, you are the reason I live. He makes me smile and sing and write. He makes me live and love and laugh. With him, I can talk for hours. I long to hear his voice at any time of day or night. When we sing, it's as if he is the other half of my soul. Kobe, you are the reason I live. The most beautiful person I have ever seen, whose soul echoes the beauty that I see in his face, whose beauty inspires me to be someone he would be proud of. Kobe, you are the reason I live. I met a stranger who changed my life, a man who opened my eyes to the beauty around, a man who loved me and made me feel special. He woke up the part of me that hurt. With one kiss, one beautiful kiss, he made me remember what love is. Kobe, I love you. It wasn't perfect. The rhythm was off. Some of the lyrics didn't have the right fit, but it didn't matter. As the last line ended, I stared into his beautiful face, the face that had seen so much pain that he dared not talk about it. Thank you, I said, for seeing the real me. We were both crying. When I finished, Kobe sat up and held me. Sing it again, he whispered. I did, but somewhere in the second verse, we kissed. Kobe's kiss was soft and gentle and vulnerable. When he pulled away, his hand rifled through my hair, and he whispered, "Thank you." His eyes were wet and wide, and I think a perfect mirror of my own. I think I didn't let him finish, because what we needed to say was better said with our kiss.